Hello friends, I'm Griffin Lucier, and we are going to do a league with Modern Jund. This deck, I've decided to cut Bloodbraid Elf. Little bit of an experiment, but I didn't really like the way the deck looked and played with Bloodbraid Elf in it. And um, you can check out all of my theories about Jund on my blog at jundlife.blogspot.com, I think it's called. Um, but basically, Bloodbraid Elf makes you have to play a lot of different cards that you otherwise wouldn't want to, and potentially aren't very good in the format right now anyway. Um, really kind of lowers your versatility and how good, your deck, how smoothly your deck runs without Bloodbraid Elf. You have to have a lot of 3 drops and a lot of expensive cards that you otherwise wouldn't want to. So what we've got instead are Huntmaster of the Fells and Tireless Trackers. Those are our late game, run away with a game kind of card advantage creatures. In the early game, we've got Bitter Blossoms instead of Dark Confidant. I like that right now a lot because it adds to the board. It doesn't make you lose as much life, and the 1/1 flyers are just great against a lot of matchups right now. Scavenging Ooze, 3 of those. It's really good to have some graveyard hate and life gain, and 4 Tarmogoyfs, obviously. I used to play 2 Dreadbore and no Terminates. I'm down to 1 Dreadbore now and a couple of Terminates. Um, the Dreadboards were mostly there for things like Tron and Jason Mind Sculptor, but Jason Mind Sculptor is just noticeably absent right now from the format. I'm trying out a Grim Lavamancer in the main, a couple of Fatal Pushes, which I really like that you get to play Fatal Push, where Bloodbraid Elf versions basically just don't get to play it or play very few. And we also get to play 7 discard spells, which is more than the Bloodbraid Elf lists get to play. Or, get to play. You play as many as you want, but it's not as good there. We are playing a lot less red spells. So we've got some Blooming Marshes. Instead of 4 Blackleaf Glyphs, we've got just 1 and a couple of blooming Marshes. I'm also trying out a Hissing Quagmire. I think that might be good in a lot of matchups where you are on the defensive rather than using your Raging Ravine as like the win condition. You get to hold back Hissing Quagmire as a blocker. And in the sideboard, we're trying out Gaze of Granite. I think against a lot of stuff, specifically like Boggles and Affinity, Humans, things where you kind of want the game to go late, but a Gaze of Granite on 1 against Boggles is going to be really, really good, and a Gaze of Granite on 3 against Humans is also going to be really, really good. We've got an Engineered Explosives, 1 extra Murderous Cut for just matchups where they have creatures. Some Duresses and Blightnings for extra discard. Damping Spheres, a card I'm really excited about. A little bit of Nile Spellbombs and some Obstinate Baloths. Those are going to be good against the Mirror and against Burn and against just other decks that have discard spells like Kolaghan's Commands and stuff. So against Mardu Pyromancer. And also Hollow One. It's hopefully hopefully we get into play for free off of a Burning Inquiry. So that's the deck, and we're going to run it in a league, and I'll be back for round 1 in just a second. Okay, so here we are for round 1. We have won the die roll. That's great. Pretty solid hand. I don't like to keep hands without threats, but Raging Ravine is kind of a threat, and Liliana of the Veil is kind of a threat, so this looks fine. Just going to start on a swamp. I usually like to just start on swamps when I get the chance. Playing against some humans here. A couple of Champion of the Parish. Thalia. We could take the Vial, but I really just dislike being on the plan of trying to take the vial. Um, we could also take a Thalia. It doesn't seem like the worst. Because our hand is like if they play Thalia on turn 2, then we're not doing anything for a long time. So I think that's going to be the play here. Hopefully we can get a Kolaghan's Command on something before a champion turns into a really big creature. Another Raging Ravine isn't great, but it'll work. Freebooter. Not a bad draw. That is a bad draw. We're going to go get a Swamp with the Verdant Catacombs. And just play Liliana and minus. And pretty happy with, not I guess happy, but not upset about losing. I think either of these choices is fine for us, whichever one they choose to sacrifice. That's not great, but we'll play it. Thalia's Lieutenant. Don't love that. Yeah, I don't think we're getting this one. It might just be lethal. Not quite. Pretty close. I don't think we can survive. No, we can't. Okay. So, that's fine. We get to bring in these and this, and we get to take out Thoughtseize. And I really do like Liliana's Veil in this matchup. There's no like creature lands that they can use to sacrifice or anything. You pretty much want to kill like all their stuff. And we got to cut one more card. I guess it is a little slow. I don't mind having them though, but they are like the, other than Huntmaster and like Gaze of Granite, they're the most expensive cards. We want to keep our costs pretty low here. Another one that I don't love, but I think it's a keep. No play from our opponent is nice. I'm gonna play Blooming Marsh into Tarmogoyf. Even though it's a 0/1, it's fine. It's not doing anything for a couple turns anyway. Let's see what our opponent does. This looks like a freebooter. Do I want to play Bitter Blossom or do I want to play Tireless Tracker? I think I want to play Tireless Tracker. And I think I want to crack this Catacombs for a swamp to do it. Gonna put my opponent to the test here. You got it. Not a lot of reason not to do it, so a little embarrassing, but whatever. Are we getting ridden by a Mantis? No, a Reflector Mage. Sure. Let's hang on to that one for a sec here. And I'm going to lose the land, so I can't Tireless Tracker, but I think it's totally worth it here to get a mountain. This is the kind of game we want to play. Our opponent didn't have a 1-drop. We're able to like stick some cool stuff. This Huntmaster. And we've got a sweeper waiting for when we want it. Zathrid Necromancer. Okay, this looks great. We get to just say go. And then we're going to upkeep kill the Necromancer. A Dismember would be really bad for us. But honestly not really that bad. See what our opponent can come up with here. That's interesting. I think that I'm going to respond with Kolgon's command on the freebooter. That'll get my Kolgon's command back. And then we'll see what they copy. That might just copy Tarmogoyf. Not Reflector Mage. They're targeting our wolf token. Okay. So right now, explosives for 3 looks really nice. Explosives for 1 looks really nice. don't think I have any interest in doing anything about that guy. Because we're going to flip this Ravager back now. It's going to be a whole thing. Could have made like a double block there or something. Yeah, I like just saying go again. We could explosives for 3. Makes Goyf really big. I'm kind of more interested in getting this Thalia's Lieutenant off the table though. Like we might just be using the explosives as an explosives for 1. And also a double block here with Goyf and the Wolf token doesn't seem that bad. But we'll see what's in their hand here. A Mantis Rider. Yeah. Okay. So, let's do this. Let's Kolaghan's command, make them discard, and deal 2 to the champion. That way, if their last card is a dismember, we know about it. It's not. So now we can freely double block here. Am I going to crack this? I think I should. Although I have Tireless Tracker in my hand. I guess it's fine. I can get a forest here. Explosives for 3. Can't think of any reason not to just wait. I get to play around Mantis Rider this way. Meddling Mage. I guess they know about Tireless Tracker. Yep. So this looks good for us. We can bolt here. Play the tracker. I'm going to go ahead and attack here. And I'll pay 2 life. That way I get to draw the card off of the tracker. And I guess there is actually a reason not to do it right now, because of Kitesail Freebooter. Okay, so that looked really good. Explosives was great there, and when our opponent didn't have like the super fast start, we were able to take it over. Let's see. Not a lot I want to change. Let's just do that. Don't really know why. Just kind of feel like on the draw I want my mana costs to be a little less. This clearly will not do. This works. That might not be good enough, but I'm not gonna put it on the bottom. Hierarch, that's fine. Plan is clearly going to be to fire off a bunch of Inquisitions. Thalia, Mantis Rider, Dismember, Image. Well, let's see. Don't really care about the Dismember. I do care a lot about the Mantis Rider. Um, yep. Now comes the choice of play Tarmogoyf, but doesn't actually do anything. We can take this Phantasmal Image. The Phantasmal Image doesn't really do anything either. The Dismember might be good. The problem with Goyf is that we can't block with it right now. But we never get to block with it if we don't get this Dismember out. And also, once we get this Dismember out, ooh, a Reflector Mage. That's okay. We're not going to present any targets for a while if we don't have to. And Phantasmal Image isn't going to copy anything if we don't want it to either. So let's take the Dismember. When we do get something that they want to Reflector Mage, then we're going to get Reflector Mage twice. Here comes a Freebooter, which I don't mind, because the Kolaghan's command isn't that good. And the Freebooter doesn't really present any more to the clock. Question is, do I even play this Goyf? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to cast it. That's interesting. If I drew a Fatal Push, it's actually kind of a bad plan. Drew a Ziggurat. That's not the worst. Well, it's pretty bad. Oh, it's very bad. Yeah, we're going to need another land to win this one for sure. not going to gain a life out of that. I think I'm more interested in the Tarmogoyf doing its thing. Alright, say go here. We can kill the Thalia. White, blue, red. White, blue, red is not good for us. So here's a lethal coming at us. Yeah, not a ton of outs. I think we needed to be able to cast that Huntmaster when we had turn 4. Alright, not getting that one. Alright, let's try and tighten it up for round 2. Okay, back for round 2. Lost our first one, see if we can turn this one around. Hand looks fantastic, as long as we don't... It's not a matchup where we desperately need a discard spell. Yeah, gonna keep it. Cavern on humans. And a vial. Sure. Another Fatal Push looks great. Most of the time, Bolt is better than Fatal Push in this matchup. But because we have all these fetch lands, we can turn on Revolt pretty easily. Smart play by our opponent to not run out that Champion of the Parish. I think now is a good time to get a Blood Crypt and play a Bitter Blossom. Here comes a champion. No, it's a hierarch. Okay. Two mana for Athalia's Lieutenant. 2 mana for a Meddling Mage. Let's see what they name. You know, by playing the Blooming Marsh first, it kind of tips off that we've got Fatal Push, doesn't it? That's actually a really neat trick. I never kind of noticed that you could do that with Thalia's Lieutenant. Put the trigger on the stack, vial in another human. That way your Thalia's Lieutenant gets a counter and your creature gets a counter. I think I'm going to kill them both, though. Pretty much no matter what they name here, we're going to be able to nuke them. And I don't really have... Because of the vial, I don't really have any incentive to kill the hierarch. We're just gonna let the hierarch hang out for a while. I'm gonna assume that my next turn will be Fatal push, Thoughtseize. But we'll see. Ooze is good. Ooze is definitely an incentive to get a green source. The problem is that we have all these black spells, Fatal Pushes and Dreadbores, which kind of don't allow us to do that. So, I'm going to play Dreadbore. On the Meddling Mage. Nope, on the Lieutenant. Then we're going to say go. And if they Mantis Rider, then we can crack for a swamp and kill, or maybe even Overgrown Tomb, and kill the Mantis Rider. Yep. Kind of want to kill that too. Which we will, that's fine. Let's go ahead and fetch our Overgrown Tomb right now. Push the Rider. I'm gonna go ahead and block anyway, so it doesn't really matter that we let them have the Exalted there. And of course a Bolt, but that's fine. Let's Thoughtseize, push, and Bolt this turn. Kind of want to get this Thoughtseize out of my hands for something useful. Meddling Mage doesn't really bother me. Phantasmal Image. Phantasmal Image could be good. Fatal Push here. And I guess I don't have a lot of reason not to just say go. On the other hand is Vile Meddling Mage and something else. So now seems like a good time to bolt this guy. Opponent did not draw a land. That's for sure. Because they would have attacked with Noble Hierarch if they had. Tarmogoyf. Good name. So because I think that they didn't draw a land, I am going to Inquisition them. Did not work out, but that's okay. We've got an Ooze. I think I want to get my attack on here. Because the Mage is going to attack with Exalted, I'm not really concerned about trying to like double block it or anything like that, so I'll probably just be chumping with a Fairy. I guess there is an issue of Mantis Rider. Bloodbraid Elf. Well, played around that one. .C's doesn't do anything right now. I don't think I'm attacking. Top deck Reflector Mage would be pretty bad for us. Let's eat some stuff. I don't really feel like I need to do anything other than that right there. That's not great. Having two in play is just, well, I guess because there's so many. Yeah, not worth it yet. I think again I'm going to hold back my two fairies. Now they can't really attack very well. Another land, that's good for us. We know their last card is Vile. Let's eat some stuff. Doesn't really help. Gonna put them on a clock here a little bit. Let's play another Bitter Blossom. I think because I have so much life gain, I'm not concerned about um, I'm just not concerned about my life total that much. They're highly incentivized to attack with just one creature a turn. I guess they could Reflector Mage here. That would be pretty bad for us. Kind of does smell like a Reflector Mage. Nope. Okay, so that means we get to play our Goyf next turn. And we get to eat that creature. Alright, here comes Did they actually have the Reflector Mage? Wow. Okay. Luckily, we've still got this Goyf. Every time they attack, they're going to be throwing away a creature, which means I get to eat it with a ooze. What can our opponent muster here? Kitesail Freebooter would actually be really good. Speak of the Devil? Nope, that's not it. Let's see what they want to attack with. Nothing. So, if we attack with 3 tokens and the Goyf, we force a chump block. And after that, we can eat it with the ooze. This way, we still have 4 blockers back. Opponent goes to 2. Okay. Whew, that was pretty close. Playing the second Bitter Blossom always puts you on edge, but it's worth it sometimes. Sometimes it's not. But the thing is that when you have to make that decision like that turn, because if you wait on Bitter Blossom, it gets really bad. The worse, like it gets worse the further along you are when you actually cast it. Turn 2 Bitter Blossom is great. Turn 3 Bitter Blossom is okay. After that, it gets a lot worse. You have to be in a pretty significant board stall for like a second Bitter Blossom to actually do that much work for you. Let's see. Last time I cut my Thoughtseizes, I had Thoughtseize in my hand that whole game, and it wasn't that great. I'm going to be on the draw. I think I want to do this. The old Stir Const is out of date. Still haven't figured out what that means. Yep, gonna keep this. Opponent's on 5. Can't say I hate that. Um, what I'm going to play on turn one will be interesting. I think there's a pretty good case for playing either Blood Crypt or Raging Ravine. We'll see what they play on turn one though themselves. Nothing. Okay, so lots of times I would like play. Oh, Swamp is great. Lots of times I would play a Blood Crypt untapped, leaving a Bolt. But the most likely thing that's going to happen here is they play a Thalia, and so that's going to be like that's going to do nothing. So we don't want to do that. Free Buddha. I don't think Bolt would be very good here either. Like if I left it up. The old K command. Do like that. Let's see. It's obviously Ooze. And it's obviously Swamp. I think it's not exactly obviously a Swamp. Because it's such a tell when Oriok, champion. Ooh boy. Okay. I've got a plan for you. Pretty good plan. That, of course, being Liliana of the Veil. I'm gonna play. Whether to play Blood Crypt or Stomping Ground is kind of interesting. But we're definitely Kolagon's commanding here. Gonna play the Blood Crypt. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna hang back. See what our opponent does here. So this looks like the Necromancer. Yeah. That is actually kind of good against this Liliana. But not very good against this Huntmaster. Yeah, and I think it's just a play to play the Huntmaster. Let's see what our opponent does. This looks like a Mantis Rider, pretty obviously. All right. So a Path or a Dismember is pretty rough for us here. But they clearly don't have one. They would have just done it on end step. So now we can kill this Necromancer. We can bolt the Mantis Rider. And we can eat a bunch of stuff with the Ooze. And get our attack on. This is a Reflector Mage. What are we going to target here? We'll target the Ooze. So I'll tell you what we're going to do instead. We're going to take this. We're going to explosives for 3. Red, green, black. Explosives. Yep. Play land, we're going to blow the explosives. Going to attack. And then we're going to bolt. Looks like a waste, but we're going to get to flip our Huntmaster. And obviously it's not the best play to just play that land out when we have tracker, but we get to get the 2-for-1 there. Here's a dismember on the Huntmaster. That's pretty good, but it might be a little late. Now we're going to Lily. Okay. Sweet. Engineer explosives, really, really good. Huntmaster of the Fells was awesome. If your opponent doesn't have a really, really fast start with a humans deck, then you're in much, much better shape. So we are 1-1 in this league. Let's see if we can keep it rolling. All right, we're headed into round 3. 1-1. Played against a couple of humans opponents. We lost 1-2 in the first one and won the second one 2-0. Just wanted to mention that if humans is going to be the de facto best deck, I mean, I don't think it's so far and away better than everything else you can be doing, and it's modern. There's just like it's just a wide open format. But if that's going to be the de facto best deck, then Huntmaster of the Fells is just really, really good, and Bloodbraid Elf is just really, really not. Like, the fact that it lines up so poorly against Thalia, which is, one of the reasons. It's like one of the worst cards against you, and Huntmaster of the Fells just is the nuts against Thalia. Hand looks great. Keeperino. The mirror match. Alright. I think it's going to be important to get this Liliana off the table. Or out of our opponent's hand. I would love to draw a Bitter Blossom right here. Take and terminate. Okay, that's fine. Quagmire's not really where it's at. We left them with an Ooze, a Terminate, a couple of lands. This is the Ooze. Yeah, we're just going for it here. I suppose that we should get an Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, Lily was a great draw. great, great draw. Now if they have any creature, we can terminate, tick up, and now they're in some trouble. Never mind. Won't be doing any of that. So it's gonna lose this Verdant Catacombs, I guess. Actually, no, we're gonna lose the Bloodstained Mire. That way our opponent doesn't know our last card. They got rid of a Terminate, fully expecting this to be a Bloodbraid here. And all that kind of makes me wish I had played the Quagmire when I had the chance. So that I could play an untapped land here and save up the mana to be able to block an incoming Bloodbraid Elf. If that was what was happening. Pretty good. Pretty good. I wonder if they're going to make me discard or not. If they do, they get to play around a removal spell. Yeah. So we know their last card, or they have 2 cards in hand. One is Ooze. And not having a red source is coming back to bite us here. I am going to fire up this Quagmire, I think. Opponent could make the Ooze a 4/4, but I'm totally fine trading. No, that's not what I clicked. Come on, Magic Online. Yeah, I guess so. Although not really. Eat plus Fatal Push? Okay. So we're pretty far behind here, but I mean, we don't know what our opponent's last 2 cards are. They could be blanks, and opponent just has a creature. Just so happens that it's a very good creature. Sure. And does that leave us dead? I think the only creature they've got is Bloodbraid. So we're going to 4. If they want to eat it. They might not. Guess they don't. Liliana Plus is fine. That's weird that they didn't eat the creature. Not a lot going on with this Kolaghan's command. If it's a creature, then we're dead. So that's not great. That's fine. Luckily, we've got 7 good cards to bring in here. Get rid of all these discard spells. The Baloths come in. The Blightnings come in. The Cut. And 1 Nile Spellbomb. That is my John Muir plan, is to just get rid of your discard spells. I've heard some people theorize that that's not the right way to do it anymore, but I just don't believe them. Yep, this is going to be a keep. Blightning is fucking awesome. We're going to Raging Ravine on turn 1 here. Missing double black for any Lilianas that we draw, but that's okay. It's possible I should have just played an Ooze. I don't think so, though. Plus we get to bolt any creature they play here. Even if it's a Goyf. That thing's dead. So, what I would love to have happen here, is not love, but I think a pretty reasonable expectation is our opponent plays a Liliana, makes a sacrifice, in which case we Blightning. Yep. Because this is very interesting. They changed the way that they do damage. And now it says target player or planeswalker. So I have to target Liliana. So that worked out pretty well. I think I am going to just play this Raging Ravine, even though we've got the tracker. Kind of a tough call, actually. But it leaves us available to Ooze plus Eat plus Fatal Push next turn. And any land that we draw later on is going to be good with tracker. Fulminator Mage. You got it. See if they just killed that thing. That's fine. Yep, that's why you don't play Fulminator Mage right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and get a black source. I guess it doesn't play around a second Fulminator Mage very well. But I want to do it before my opponent gets to untap with the removal. What is that, a pulse on the tracker? Okay. Let's draw a card, see what we get. Bolt, okay. Let's go get a swamp. I guess the problem with this play is that we run our ooze into a potential bolt. Also, yeah, maybe this was bad. That's fine. That's totally fine. Let's start exiling your stuff. I fully expect this to die right here. It didn't. Okay. We can live with that. Do I want a lily? Yeah, I think so. So I'm holding up mana because Kolagon's command would really hurt, and we want to be able to exile one of their creatures if we have to. What can they do on 5 mana? They now have double green, so is this a Thrun? This is a Bloodbraid. Bloodbraid into Goyf. So this would be really good, except we've got answers to both of these. I'm going to eat a Goyf. Bolt this Bloodbraid. Land is fine. Cast a push. That might be a concession. Yep, okay. Cool. So that worked out. Lightning was super good. I don't think I want to change anything. Still haven't seen Bitter Blossom. Tracker was pretty good. We had, like, more cards rolled up if we needed them. But really the Blighting just took them out there. We kind of walk them out with that, walk that Liliana out there. And then just... This is fine. This is okay. Love another land. Of course. Especially because they're bringing in Fulminators against us. That is not one. But because we've got an answer to Fulminator, I'm pretty happy with this. Not an answer to Fulminator, answer to Dark Confidant, so. Pretty important to just kill Dark Confidant immediately. So Fulminator would be really bad. Opponent doesn't really know that, but it would be. Them's the breaks, I guess. Alright, we cool. We're cool. Gonna go ahead and get another Overgrown Tomb. And this time I'll play a Goyf. Yeah, I think Goyf is right. I don't have enough mana to maximize our ooze right now. And we got the Spell Bomb up in case of a Fulminator Mage or Liliana the Last Hope activation. Really don't want to get Fulminated again. That's totally fine because of this murderous cut. Let's see. Let's do this right now. This is probably wrong. Like I'm supposed to. Ooh. Well, push is good. Yeah, I think I'm happier pushing the bob than cutting the bob. Sure, that's fine. Kitchen Finks. Okay. Ooze is pretty good there. Sure. So here comes our Bloodbraid. No, an ooze. Okay. And it's just gonna eat stuff, I guess. Sure. I wouldn't hate the land. Just gonna put that out there. Um, I think the plan is to terminate the ooze, and that leaves me with bolt ooze activation of my own on the Finks later. Alternatively, we can cut the ooze. I don't think that's right. I think we just terminate it. Would not hate a land here. We're not blocking anything, even if they play Blood Raid or something. We're not. So it's time to get in. I guess another plan would have been, yeah, to okay. Well, I think this is going to work out for us in the long run here. Well, they're attacking us for quite a chunk here. Yeah. Blooming Marsh was good. Good draw. Yeah, so we're just gonna say go. That's that's rough. Real bad. We are going to bolt a Finks. Eat it. Gonna lose our ooze. I'm gonna cut a Bloodbraid, which is not a great feeling. But okay. Go to 4. We need an untapped land for Huntmaster. Yeah, not really gonna do it, I don't think. Don't know exactly what they could have in their hand that doesn't just kill us. An untapped land is really bad for us. Bolts are really bad for us. I can't really imagine that blocking here is at all like a winning proposition. I got to imagine that we're dead to a bolt. I just, you know what? I think we can win if we do this with a Huntmaster. No, this isn't even that good either. This feels a lot like they have Kolaghan's Command. That's also good. And that's also good. So we are dead here. That's funny. I don't want to make the Tarmogoyfs huge, but I'm gonna. I'm pretty sure we're cold here to just about anything. Yeah. That's rough. Very rough. We never got a Bitter Blossom on turn 2, and we also just kind of got mana screwed that game. The Fulminator Mage plan, I don't think it's good. Like, there were a lot of there. I feel like more times than not, the outcome of that game is decided on the fact that they didn't do anything other than Stone Rain us when in that game. Like, the fact that you spend 3 mana and a card on a Stone Rain, whereas all of my permanents deal with actual cards, is just like not the way to win the game. And so it worked out, though. It worked out every once in a while. But I feel like it's just a mistake to put Fulminator Mage in your deck after sideboard in the mirror. But that's how it goes. Alright, let's see if we can right the ship and win out. Alright, back for round 4. We are on the draw this game. This hand looks fantastic. We're going to keep it. I'm always a little concerned about, Vesuva on turn 1. What the fuck? They're going to bounce it to their hand, obviously. Okay. Well, that's a little silly. Yeah, our plan is going to be to get... Okay, we're taking Amulet for sure. They have a million copies of Primeval Titan. That is just really funny. Our plan is going to be to Liliana the hell out of these guys. So... I'm actually kind of more interested in leaving up Bolt mana than playing this Ooze. Is that crazy? It's probably crazy. But they could have Zeus it next turn, which I really don't want them to do. Found an amulet. Okay. So they don't have enough mana yet to actually cast the Primeval Titan. Let's get a Blood Crypt. An Azusa there would have been just dreadful for us, so... And this can probably go get a... You know what, this should... I kind of wish I had another Blood Crypt. Stomping Ground ought to be fine, though. We might need to cast bolts on, like, successive turns here. We're getting rid of a bolt, though. I guess what I mean is we may need to play a bolt and a terminate next turn. There goes a Summoner's Pact. So here goes Summoner's Pact for Azusa. I guess they can play a Titan now, can't they? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they can. I think I definitely should have played around that. This matchup sucks. So they can't actually kill me, and I get to kill both of their things next turn. With Terminate Bolt. Yep. Not blocking. There goes my Lily. Which is fine-ish. We're going to bolt here. And I guess I don't have a reason to play Terminate yet until they pay for Pact. We don't... I guess I don't know if they have another bounce land in their hand or not. Let's kill that thing right now. Opponent's paying some mana for their Pact. Okay. Well, now they can. Okay. So here comes... Right, we knew about the Vesuva. So here comes another Titan. And they can go get... I guess another Vesuva? How many Vesuvas do they play? Because they can't go get... I guess Gruul Turf Teleria West is also pretty solid here. Yeah. We aren't winning this game. Lotus Bloom? What? What are you doing? We're pretty much dead. I think. They can just go get Sunhome. Yeah, I don't think we're winning that game. Okay. So, Damping Sphere. Yes, please. Um, I don't think I want Engineered Explosives. Fatal Push is out. Damping Sphere is in. Lightning is fine. Dreadbore might actually be fine. We'll see. Um, Bitter Blossom's a little slow. Don't think I want Nile Spellbomb. Um, like explosives or Gaze of Granite to get rid of those tokens doesn't really help, I don't think. Murderous Cut seems fine, and also I want the rest, don't I? Yeah, the rest hits almost everything that's important. Um, let's do Cut a Dreadbore. Let's see what happens. I would love to play first. Sure. Another Black Source before turn 3 would be fantastic. However, we could be getting Leylined. We're not getting Leylined. That's great. Gonna Inquisition first here. Pact, Lotus Bloom, Dismember, Hornet Queen, Selesnya Sanctuary. So the thing is that I really want to play Tarmogoyf next turn. How afraid am I of Lotus Bloom? I guess it is really good with those Summoners Pacts and the Hornet Queen. So I guess the plan is that we have to hold off on the Goyf now. Which is okay. Not really what I was looking for. Next turn we can Goyf and Thoughtseize. Simic Growth Chamber, so they have 5 mana now. Well, eventually. Liliana? Yeah, I think it's time for Liliana. We're gonna go get a Overgrown Tomb. We can get rid of this forest pretty easily. I don't love leaving them with all these Summoners Pacts and Hornet Queens and whatnots. But the plan is to... Ooh, Ghost Quarter. Summoners Pact for Azusa. Sure. How good would Damping Sphere be? Oh my god, it would be amazing. Come on, Damping Sphere. Dang. So they have to pay for Pact. Let's Thoughtseize. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think just getting rid of these Summoners Pacts is going to be the way to win here. I guess we can't really beat a Hornet Queen. I think I think we're gonna tick up. It's dangerous, definitely dangerous, to leave Azusa in play. However, I don't think there's really that much that our opponent can do with their Azusa. Especially next turn. They discarded Hornet Queen, so they have Sunhome in their hand. Now they have to pay for Pact. Sure. So now I'm faced with a decision. Do I tick up Liliana or do I tick down? I think I just want to tick up. Opponent drawing a Titan would be real bad for us, but they didn't. Okay. I'm ready to do this plan. Selesny Sanctuary. I guess we could do something like this. Let's try that. Getting 4 mana either way. Okay. Cool. 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 Lot to discard. Liliana, pretty much it. Didn't draw our Damping Spheres. Would really love to here. Don't think I want to change anything. The Fatal Push is just kind of unreliable against Azusa, so. Nah, we can't keep this. Not only is it just like no disruption, it's actually really slow too. Just like Tarmogoyf as a 1/2, it's just not going to do it. Ding 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 ding! Yes, please. I don't think so. Like, it's good. I'm really a lot more interested in a second black source. Like that. So let's go Blood Crypt on end step here. This is going to be brutal. Like, if they don't have a Nature's Claim, they are just fucked. Blood Crypt here, Forest next turn. So now that Gruul Turf only makes 1 mana. So we just basically stone rain the shit out of them for like a million bajillion turns. Not sure why I'm getting a call from Virginia right now. Okay. Swamp. Tick up, discard mountain. Looks pretty good. You know, Obstinate Baloth would be very annoying right now. Not that bad. We could still just play Goif and terminate it next turn, so I think it's fine. Oh yeah, we could just do it on our opponent's turn. Yeah. Yep, okay. But between the Baloth, the Liliana, the Terminate, our Goif is actually going to be huge here. Definitely could have played around that if I wanted to, though. I like this. Alright, Rixile. What are we doing here? Yep. That sucks. Just crushing the mana development over there. Dismember would be rough for us. Let's play. Let's play Overgrown Tomb. We can't cast Terminate right now. This turn we can. Each spell a player casts costs one more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. Actually, what I would love is for my opponent to play a Zusa and then attack with the Baloth. In fact, you might be right to just let them hit me. Is that crazy? I think it's not crazy. I'm trying to think of like how they can get back in this. Like their hand is obviously not very good. They don't have a lot of lands that just aren't bounce lands. So they probably just have a ton of bounce lands. Ooh. Well, we successfully played around that. I mean, actually, no. We could have just terminated that thing, but... That's fine. Let's crack this right now to go get our Stomping Ground. Now we get to attack for 3. It's a lot of damage to overcome. That Baloth trigger was a lot of life. Summoner's Pact for Azusa. Okay. Luckily, we get to kill the Azusa. Also, they're going to need double green. They've conceded. I think it's because they realized that they couldn't get double green. Fair enough, old friend. Good game. Damping Sphere. I already love it. That's my first time having it in play, and that was fantastic. Cool. All right, we will try and win this last one to cash this league. All right, here for round 5. If we win this one, we min cash. Woo! If we lose, I'll be very sad. Not really. We get to play first. Hand looks pretty good. I really want a red source. Or just another land. Opponent goes to 6. Okay with that. What do we got? What the heck? Okay. Serum Visions, Fatal Push, Death's Shadow, Street Wraith, Serum, Stubborn Denial. So we have a Fatal Push to hit this Death's Shadow. The problem is that we need to actually do it. Luckily, we can have the plan of just leave up Fatal Push, try and cast it, get it countered by Stubborn Denial, untap and Liliana if we get along that far. So, I'm kind of inclined to take the Serum Visions. We also could have taken the Street Wraith. I didn't even actually think of that one. It's not great. Right on down to 12. Here's a Death Shadow. Okay. I feel pretty comfortable Fatal Pushing this. Because Stubborn Denial can't hit it because of it only being a 1/1. Ooze. Ooze is fine. It's gonna run right into a Fatal Push, but like we gotta get through that. Another Death Shadow. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Let's go ahead and get a gonna go ahead and get a mountain. We're gonna cast this Liliana. Because even though we know they have Stubborn Denial, I want to get through it. Another land and we won't be able to Stubborn Denial anything. Or we won't be able to get anything through a Stubborn Denial. Like that. That's good. That's a pretty good draw. However, land for us is very nice. Huntmaster is awesome. We go back up to 13. Our opponent can't just attack and play a land and say go, or else they're dead. Also, a Fatal Push doesn't kill the Huntmaster. We gotta take this. Yep, they're dead. Okay. Okay, so this matchup, I don't really know what to do. I do know that I really like Bitter Blossom. I think Baloth is also pretty good. I think Murderous Cut is good. Um, I don't love the bolts. They just don't hit any of their stuff. They can hit like a Liliana, but they don't really play them any of those, I don't think. Let's see if I can find like a let's see if I can go online real quick and see if I can find a copy of this deck. Yeah, no copies of Liliana. They do have Jace the Mind Sculptor. So that's a little scary. That makes me want to bring in Lightning. I don't think I want the rest, though. Lavamancer's pretty poor. Two more cards to cut. Baloth is a little loose. Like, you can definitely get stranded with cards in your hand in this matchup. Um, like, 4 mana spells are not exactly what you want. And Scavenger News is just kind of a little slow. Let's try this. Not very scientific, but this isn't really a deck that you run into very often these days. Sand looks great. Lots of stuff I want in my opener. Turn 1 play would have been nice, but the thing is that there's discard spells, and that's about it for turn 1 plays. You're not actually using a removal spell on a creature, like, ever. Ravine, go! Young Pyromancer, okay. Now I find that. I think... Pretty interesting here. To play the Goyf or to play the Bitter Blossom. I think I want to play the Bitter Blossom. And just get it established. Liliana the Veil is not going to be very good against Young Pyromancer. We're going to have to try and find a creature removal spell quickly here. So you think you want to make some tokens, do we? Opponent's at 12, so they could play something like a Death Shadow if they really wanted. Okay. A lot of good spells in my hand. That's for sure. Lots of good stuff. Takes Inquisition. Interesting. Steam Vents tapped. Very, very, very interesting. That is a nice one. So I've got to imagine that either they have two lands in their hand that they don't care about and are fine discarding to Lightning, or they have a stubborn denial. If they have a stubborn denial, I'm definitely want to cast Kolaghan's Command this turn. Hopefully they do something like Thought Scour here on end step. Maybe they'll Fatal Push my Fairy. That would be sweet. Yeah, this matchup is going to be... Their spells are a lot cheaper than ours. And so if we get stuck on lands, and sometimes that's how we end up losing here. I think it's going to be Blood Crypt. Yeah, sucks. I need another black source, though, for Liliana. So, yep, that's one of those instances where maybe I'm getting my hopes up too much, but them not just countering it with Stubborn Denial makes me think that they don't have it. Yep, you can go ahead and attack me if you'd like. No. Here comes a zombie fish, maybe a snapcaster on a Thoughtseize. A Gourmet Gangler. Yep. Interesting. Don't really want to do that. But I don't mind playing Blightning. Yep, I think this is fine. Puts their life total super low. I mean, it's not great when they have Death Shadow in their deck, but I just kind of don't think that they have that right now. Not going to attack. No real need to do any attacking right now. Just say and go. You got it. It's a good one. I think I want to play Liliana. It's more efficient on her mana. It'll draw out any Stubborn Denial. And we have a perfectly good Bitter Blossom to get rid of, which is great with Tarmogoyf. So now our Goyfs are 6/7s. Sure. Bitter Blossom is real tough for them to deal with. That's for sure. Don't exactly know what I want to do with this with my plays next turn. And with the Liliana, I might actually just use it to make them sacrifice to kill that token. As lame as that sounds, because after that, then I have another -2 rolled up that I can use, which will hit either Gourmet Gangler. I kind of suspect that if they're putting something on the top, it's either Kolaghan's Command or Death Shadow or another Gourmet Gangler or something like that. Maybe Snapcaster. Wow. Extremely aggressive. Extremely aggressive. Hmm. Why would they do that? If their plan is to Snapcaster Mage, then I'm really kind of okay with that. I don't have a bolt or anything. So now the question is, do I just terminate and Goif? I think I do. Yeah. Okay. We did it. We cashed. We have netted a single treasure chest. Awesome. I bet that treasure chest is full of like 3 copies of engineered explosives or something that's like extremely expensive. It's probably got like 4 wastelands. It was it was a hard fought treasure chest. I feel like we deserve it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll take a look at the deck one more time just to check it out. I liked pretty much everything about it, to be perfectly honest. Um, I guess the only card that I really didn't love was Tireless Tracker. It was like a little slow. Um, there were just times like it's a you need to have a land or else it's pretty bad. Um, but it's also just completely runs away with the game sometimes. Kind of like I don't know, kind of like Dark Confidant. Like if it goes unanswered and your life total isn't pressured and you're able to hit your land drops to make your spells count, then then it's great and you run away with the game. But when it's not good, it's really not good. And so, but we've only got 2 of them, and I think they were fine. 3 oozes seem really good. I was playing with like some Grim Flayers before, but I don't think it's the right time for that. There's a lot of graveyard interactions, and life gain is pretty important. I was also down to 2 Bitter Blossoms before, but they're just so good. They're just so good on turn 2. Like you usually don't want to draw 2 of them, so 3 seems like the right number. I don't really want 4. Unlike Dark Confidant, they don't die like ever. So having 4 Dark Confidant is great because like you play one, they kill it, you play the other one, you're good to go. Bitter Blossom stays in play, so the second one doesn't really do anything because you don't. 2 of them in play is usually not the way to go. Um, I don't. I don't think we ever had the Lavamancer in play, but maybe we did once or twice. But I think it's good. I'm perfectly happy with that. I think it's like against humans and affinity stuff like that. I think it's better than Lightning Bolt, and it's something that's proactive on turn 1. A lot of our turn 1 plays are Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt. They're just like not proactive. But now I have like 8 cards that I'm perfectly happy just being like cast this on turn 1. Like that's just like a great play. So that seems to be pretty good. Um, yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and tune in next time if you want to learn more about this deck. Check out my blog where I write about Modern Jund almost exclusively, and keep checking into this channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.